Welcome back to the Everyday English Podcast. I am Sarah, your guide to speaking English naturally and confidently in your daily life.
And I am Mark. Hello, everyone. We are so happy to have you with us today. You know, Sarah, we always talk about how English is more than just words in a textbook. It is about surviving and thriving in the real world.
Exactly, Mark. It is about navigating real situations. And today, we have a very special episode. We are going to talk about a situation that gives even advanced learners a lot of anxiety. It is something that happens to everyone, but when it happens in a second language, it can be terrifying.
Oh, I think I know what you were talking about. Is it job interviews?
No, not job interviews. It is something much more common. Picture this, Mark. You are at the supermarket. You have just finished a big shop. You put your bags in the cart, you pay, you walk away from the register, and then you look at your receipt.
Oh no, I know this feeling. You look at the receipt and you see something wrong.
Yes, maybe the apples were supposed to be $2, but the receipt says $10. Or maybe you see an item listed twice, but you only bought one. Your heart starts beating fast. You know there is a mistake, but now you have a choice. Do you keep walking and lose the money? Or do you turn around and talk to the cashier?
That is the worst feeling. I call it the shyness tax. If you are too shy to speak up, you pay the tax. You lose the money because you are afraid of the confrontation.
The shyness tax. I love that term. And I think many of our listeners have paid that tax. They are afraid of sounding rude. They are afraid of holding up the line. They are afraid they won't have the right words to explain the math. So today, we are going to stop you from paying that tax. We are going to teach you exactly how to handle mistakes and returns at the supermarket, politely, calmly, and effectively.
This is such a valuable lesson. We are going to cover the specific grammar you need to sound polite, the vocabulary for money errors, and we will even do some role-playing so you can hear how it sounds in real life.
And remember, if you want to keep improving your listening skills and learn how to handle every situation in English, make sure you subscribe to the Everyday English Podcast. We bring you these real-life deep dives every single week so you can live your life in English. All right, Mark, let's start with the biggest fear. Why are people afraid to complain?
Well, I think it comes down to culture and directness. In some languages, if a price is wrong, you might just say, "This is wrong, fix it." And that is perfectly normal. But in English, especially in the US, UK, or Canada, being that direct can sound very aggressive.
That is true. If you walk up to a cashier and shout, "You made a mistake, this price is wrong," the cashier will immediately become defensive. They might feel attacked, and when people feel attacked, they are less helpful. So the secret to getting your money back is what we call the sandwich method.
The sandwich method. I am getting hungry. Is this about buying lunch?
Not exactly. The sandwich method is a communication technique. Imagine a sandwich. You have two pieces of soft bread on the outside and the meat or the main content in the middle. When we complain in English, we need to do the same thing. The meat is the complaint or the problem, but we have to wrap it in soft bread, polite phrases, so it's easier to swallow.
I see. So we can't just serve the meat. We can't just throw the problem at them. We need the soft bread. So what is the first piece of bread? How do we start this conversation?
The top piece of bread is the softener. This is usually a phrase that alerts the cashier that there is a problem, but without blaming them personally. The best phrase to use here is, "Excuse me, I think there might be a mistake."
Ooh, I like that. I think there might be a mistake. Notice that grammar. We don't say, "You made a mistake." We say, "There might be a mistake."
Exactly. You are removing the blame from the person and putting it on the situation. It's passive. There might be a mistake. It suggests that maybe the computer is wrong or maybe the ghost in the machine did it. It's not accusing the cashier of being bad at their job.
Right, and adding "I think" is another great softener. Even if you are 100% sure the price is wrong, saying "I think" makes you sound humble and polite. It lowers the temperature of the conversation.
Let's practice that. Listeners, wherever you are, I want you to say this out loud. "Excuse me, I think there might be a mistake." One more time. "Excuse me, I think there might be a mistake." That sounds much better than, "Hey, you charged me too much." Definitely. So you have used your top piece of bread. You have captured the cashier's attention politely. Now you need the meat. You need to explain exactly what went wrong. And this is where vocabulary is king. You need to be specific. Mark, what are the common errors we see on receipts?
The most common one is definitely being charged twice for the same item. You bought 1 carton of milk, but the receipt says 2. We call this being double charged.
Yes, double charged. It is a passive verb phrase. I was double charged. Or I think I was double charged for the milk.
That is a great phrase. Another common one is when something is on sale, but the computer rings it up at the full price.
Ugh, I hate when that happens. You see the yellow sticker on the shelf, you get excited about the discount, and then boom, full price at the register. In this situation, we say the item didn't scan correctly, or it didn't come up as the sale price.
It didn't come up. That is a very natural phrasal verb for what appears on the screen. I thought this was on sale, but it came up as $5.
Right. And sometimes the issue is about the type of discount. Maybe it was a clearance item. Clearance means the store is trying to get rid of old stock, so the price is very low. Sometimes clearance stickers don't work on the main computer, so you might say, this had a red clearance sticker, but it didn't scan.
Okay, so we have double charged and didn't scan correctly. What about when you buy fruit or vegetables? Sometimes the cashier enters the wrong code. Like you bought regular bananas, but they charged you for organic bananas, which are much more expensive.
That is a classic mistake. In that case, you would say, I think you rang these up as organic, but they are regular. The phrasal verb here is rang up. To ring something up means to record the sale on the cash register. I think you rang these up wrong.
Okay, so we have the softener, the top bread, and we have the problem, the meat. Now we need the bottom piece of bread, the solution. How do we ask them to fix it without being bossy?
Great question. You don't want to say, give me my money. Instead, we use question forms. Could you check that for me? Or would you mind checking the price again?
Would you mind? That is the magic key to English politeness. If you use would you mind, you can ask for almost anything.
It is true. So let's put the whole sandwich together. Imagine I was double charged for apples. Here is the full sentence. Excuse me, I think there might be a mistake. It looks like I was double charged for the apples. Could you check that for me?
That was perfect. It was firm, so you will get your money back, but it was completely polite. The cashier will probably say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me fix that right now."
Exactly. You turn a confrontation into a cooperation. You and the cashier are working together to fix the computer's mistake.
Now, Sarah, this works great if you catch the mistake while you are still at the register. But what if you don't notice until you are walking towards the car, or maybe you are already at home?
This is the second scenario, and it requires a slightly different approach. If you have already left the register, you usually cannot go back to the same cashier. They are busy with a new customer. You have to go to a special desk. Do you know what it is called?
Usually it is called the customer service desk or simply customer service. It's often near the entrance.
Right. So you walk to customer service. Now, this interaction is a little more formal. You are not just chatting, you are opening a case, essentially. The vocabulary here changes from mistake to return or refund.
So if I bought a loaf of bread and I get home and realize it is moldy, it has green spots on it, yuck, I go back to the store. What do I say?
Okay, first rule, bring the receipt. In North America and the UK, the receipt is your golden ticket. No receipt, usually no refund. So you walk up to the desk, you still use a greeting. Hi there. Then you state your purpose. I'd like to return this, please.
I'd like to return this. Short and sweet.
Yes, but be prepared for the question. The clerk will always ask, what is wrong with it? Or is there anything wrong with it?
And that's where you tell the truth. It is moldy, or it is expired, or I bought the wrong kind by mistake.
If you bought the wrong kind by mistake, that is a change of mind return. Most big supermarkets are okay with this for non-perishable items, like cans or boxes. But for fresh food, they might throw it away. But let's say it is a valid error. You say, I'd like to return this. It is expired.
Then comes the money part. There are a few ways to get your money back. What are the terms we need to know?
The best one is a refund. A refund means the money goes back to your credit card or into your hand as cash. I'd like a refund, please.
But sometimes they offer store credit. What is that?
Store credit is like a gift card. They keep the money, but you can spend it in the store later. If you don't have your receipt, they will often only give you store credit. They might say, without a receipt, I can only put this on a gift card.
And then there is an exchange. That is just swapping the bad item for a good one.
Right. So if your milk was sour, you might say, can I just exchange this for a fresh one? That is often the easiest and fastest way.
Okay, let's try a role play. This is the best way to learn. Sarah, I will be the customer. You be the clerk at the customer service desk. I bought a bag of chips, but the bag was open when I got home.
Okay, I am ready. I am standing behind the counter. Action.
Hi, excuse me.
Hi there, how can I help you?
I'd like to return these chips. I just bought them 20 minutes ago, but when I got to my car, I noticed the bag is ripped open at the bottom.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Do you have your receipt with you?
Yes, here it is.
Perfect. Do you want to go grab another bag, or would you prefer a refund?
I think I'll just take a refund, please.
No problem. Go ahead and insert your card, and the money will be back in 3 business days.
Great, thanks.
And scene. How did that feel, Mark?
It felt easy. I didn't have to fight. I just explained the problem, the bag is ripped, and said what I wanted, a refund.
Exactly. Notice that Mark didn't say, "You sold me bad chips." He just stated the fact. The bag is ripped. It is neutral. This is the key to being polite in English. Focus on the object, not the person.
Now, Sarah, I want to ask about a trickier situation. What if the mistake is about a specific policy? For example, I have a coupon, a piece of paper that says save $1. I give it to the cashier, but I don't think they applied it. I check my receipt and the discount isn't there. This is harder because now I am questioning their competence.
This is a very common pain point. Coupon anxiety. You are holding up the line, people are waiting behind you, and you are arguing over $1. It feels stressful. But remember, it is your money. You have the right to ask.
So how do we use the sandwich method here?
Top bread. Sorry to be a pain, or sorry to bother you. This acknowledges that you know you are taking extra time.
Sorry to be a pain. That is a very British or humble American way to start. Sorry to be a pain, but...
Meet. I don't think the coupon went through. Went through is the phrasal verb for was processed successfully.
I don't think the coupon went through.
Bottom bread. Could we try scanning it again?
So altogether, sorry to be a pain, but I don't think the coupon went through. Could we try scanning it again?
Perfect. And listen to your intonation, Mark. Your voice went up at the end. Scanning it again? It sounds like a genuine question, not a demand. Intonation is just as important as vocabulary. If you say it with a flat voice, scan it again. It sounds rude, but could we scan it again? With a rising tone, sounds polite.
That is such a good tip. If you are nervous, smile and make your voice go up at the end of the sentence. It instantly makes you sound friendlier.
Now, I want to test our listeners. We are going to do a little exam-style task. We call this Spot the Rude Customer. I am going to say 3 sentences. I want you to listen carefully and decide, is this customer being polite or are they being too aggressive?
This is a great test. Listeners, are you ready? Here is sentence number 1.
Hey, this is the wrong price. Change it.
Ooh, what do you think? Polite or rude?
That was definitely rude. It was a command. Change it. No please, no could you, no softener.
Okay, sentence number 2.
I am so sorry, but I think this item scanned twice. Would you mind taking one off?
Verdict? That was polite. You used I think, would you mind, and sorry. That is a perfect sandwich.
Okay, last one. Sentence number 3.
You made a mistake on my receipt.
What do we think?
This one is tricky. It is not shouting, but I would say it is slightly aggressive. It is direct blame. You made a mistake.
I agree. It is borderline. It is not terrible, but it is not the best. A native speaker would probably feel a little defensive. It is better to say, I think there is a mistake on the receipt, rather than you made a mistake. Focusing on the receipt, not the person.
These nuances are what take you from an intermediate learner to an advanced speaker. It is not just about getting the grammar right. It is about understanding the social feeling of the words.
Absolutely. And this applies to everything in English, not just supermarkets. The sandwich method works for complaining to a landlord, talking to a boss, or returning a meal at a restaurant. Softener, problem, solution.
Sarah, before we finish, I have one more question. What if I am just too scared? What if I try to speak and the words don't come out?
That is a very real feeling. My advice is to practice before you are in the stressful situation. Do not wait until you are at the store to try these phrases for the first time.
Practice at home?
Yes, practice with your receipt. Actually, that leads me to our challenge for this week. We like to give you a small homework assignment to help you take action.
I love the weekly challenge. What is the plan?
The next time you go grocery shopping, I want you to keep your receipt. Don't throw it away. Take it home Sit down at your table. Look at the items. I want you to circle one item, any item. Let's say the eggs.
Okay, I have circled the eggs.
Now, I want you to imagine there is a mistake with the eggs. Maybe they were cracked, maybe the price was wrong. And I want you to say the sentence out loud in your empty kitchen. Excuse me, I think there is a mistake with the eggs.
Excuse me, I think there is a mistake with the eggs.
Say it 5 times. Get your mouth used to the shape of the words. Get your brain used to the politeness. If you practice when you are calm, the words will be there for you when you are stressed.
That is great advice. Muscle memory for your mouth.
Exactly. And if you are feeling really brave, you can try asking a question at the store even if there isn't a problem. You can ask, "Excuse me, did the coupon go through?" Just to practice the interaction.
That is a bold move. But yes, talking to cashiers is the best free English practice you can get. They are paid to talk to you.
They are, and usually they are very nice people who want to help. So remember, the shyness tax is real, but you don't have to pay it. You have the tools now. You have the sandwich method. You have the vocabulary. You can handle it.
We hope this episode helps you feel a little more powerful the next time you are standing in that checkout line. Don't let a wrong price ruin your day. Speak up, be polite, and get your money back.
Thank you so much for listening to the Everyday English podcast. If you found this helpful, please take a second to click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. It helps us grow the channel and reach more learners like you. And if you have a story about a time you had to complain in English, maybe it went well, maybe it went badly, let us know in the comments. We love reading your stories.
Yes, tell us your supermarket horror stories below. We will see you in the next episode for another deep dive into real-life English.
Happy shopping, everyone. Bye for now.
Goodbye.